Thanks for joining me today on Do-It-Yourself DOG Home Projects. Today we're going to build a propane fire table. It's going to be 48 inches long by 25 inches wide by 22 inches high. Alright, so we got 4 legs. They're each at 20 inches. They each have 2 by 2, so 2 by 2 notch both ways, a ½ inch taper on the bottom, so it'll sit like that. Anyway, probably the hardest part of this job will be cutting out the 4x4s, notching them out to the 2 by 2. There's 2 reasons why I went with the 2 by 2. One is when I'm using the 1.5 by 1.5 rails, it gives you a little bit of a bite on both sides, so it hits. You can kind of see here, it just gives you just about ½ inch. Way things square up a little easier. Also, well, this is 3 reasons. The other is I don't have to use the pocket screws now. And the third reason is the 2 by 2 boards. I'll actually be using them for another table. So multi-use. Fourth reason to notch these out is it provides a larger opening. So we get about a 15-inch opening. So this allows for still tight, but for this type of table, you have 2 different types of propane tanks. You got the vertical and the horizontal. So if you do the horizontal, definitely a little easier. You can kind of slip it in here, push it in. And then if you have a vertical, it'll also fit with the height that I've chosen. So you got about 1 inch to spare. A little glue. Rub it around. Get it to where you need it. Just putting in, like I said, 1 screw for now, and then once I get it all checked out, make sure everything fits right, make sure it's square, then I'll put the other screw in. All right, and we'll do a few more of those and see what we got. I'm gonna go ahead and check for square. I couldn't find my little square, but I got my big one. I'm just gonna double check everything, see what we got here. That looks pretty good. Try to simplify a few things. So the base is 40 inches length by 22 inches width. So that makes the length rail 34 inches. So I cut 4 of those at 34. That makes the width rail 19 inches. I cut 4 of those. And 16.5 is the height, which is 8 of those. 2, 4, 6, 8, actually 10, because I put 2 here. So 10 of those. What else we got? Oh, so it's important. Don't mess this up. When you're doing the width, make sure it goes all the way into the 4x4, all the way into the 4x4. That'll provide the largest opening over here. If you do it the opposite way, you slide this in and put that in, then you lose 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches, so your opening will drop from 15 down to 12 inches. Last but not least, if you do it this way, it gives you a nail board without having to add another one. So you just got your nail board, all the way down. I decided to go with the Go board from Lowe's. It's a lightweight product. I think it'll be great for this project. Today we're going to start cutting the stone for the walls of the fire table. I used the Cobalt tile saw from Lowe's. I think I paid about $159 for it. It was a great tool for this job. They're all straight cuts, so pretty straightforward. But I would definitely recommend this saw. I'll do a review on it. I'm going to do the last of the thin set, last side. So right now I'm just going to cut everything. I just want to make sure it fits one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and start the thin set process.
I used the simple set mortar, ready to use from Home Depot. If I had a chance, I would not use this product just because it took forever to dry and it was expensive. So I would just use the bag, lightweight mortar, thin set. This is only my second tile job, so I am by no means an expert in this area. So this is at your own risk. I got one little set going there, so I'll go ahead and put a little bit on here. Just going to do a couple, just kind of show you. I put a little bit in the front here, and then I'll back drag it. So I think they call it back butter or something. Just a little bit of mud on the. You see a low spot? Just fill it in. There it goes. I'm trying to work it into place a little bit. And I do have a hammer, a little mallet that I'll tap on once I get a row in here. All right, lastly, you want to just clean up all the cracks. I kind of did pretty good. Wipe it off the wood because that stuff really sticks. I already got to do some touch up, I can see here. But overall, it's getting there. For the door, I use 3 150-pound magnets from Amazon. They work good. I'm just a little worried about the longevity. For the door, I used 1/2-inch plywood. I did use mortar, the thin set. The door is a little heavy. I think if I was to build a second one, I would probably use the plywood and I would substitute out the thin set with a construction adhesive, like say liquid nails. Make it a lot lighter. For my choice for the fire pit or the fire pan was Celestial Fire Glass. They're online. I don't know if you can see that or not. The reason why I went with them is there was someone I could talk to, bounce some ideas off, what I can build, how I could use it. I went with the basic kit. I didn't want the automatic igniter and all that stuff because they always go out. In my opinion, they always go out. So I just went with a simple kit. I added a 12-foot hose because although I'm going to have propane in the table, if you run out and you're having a get-together or a party, I just want to be able to take the 12-foot hose, run it out, and plug it into an outside propane tank. So I'm looking at first time I had this out of the box. Another reason why I went with this one was it had a nice lip on it. I don't know if we can see it yet. Yeah, you can see the little lip here. So it's going to sit in the table. A lot of them are just flat. And I think over a period of time what happens, from what I understand and reading reviews, is the lip starts to fold up or warp a little bit. So with this extra lip, should be fine. So it's 90,000 BTU. It's very sturdy. I mean, that's a sturdy, heavy. I think it's going to be great fit for what I'm looking for. Here I'm using the butcher block countertop. Went ahead and found the center for the fire pan, and I marked it. Then I used a 1/2-inch marker block, and I just kind of marked the edge, marked it, at the front, and then marked it at the back, and drew the lines. I'm gonna go ahead and drill and cut. It was a little harder than I expected. I went ahead and drilled 4 holes in the corners, and then I just used the jigsaw, but it was slow going. I just did a little round over on the edges for the fire table, just to kind of soften the edges a little. The hardest part is probably getting the blade, the bit just right. I went ahead and sanded it down with, I started with I think about 120, then I went to 220 and then up to 320. Looks pretty good, did front and back. I'm gonna use a tack cloth to get the sawdust. For the stain today, I'm gonna use the butcher block hazelnut stain. I'm gonna demonstrate just a little bit of the how to wipe this on, wipe it off. It's pretty simple. Just a little bit on a clean cloth. Just go with the grain. Always go with the grain. Just get it in there. Rub it in real good. Get it. You want to get it to penetrate down in there. Don't leave it up on top. Always go with the grain. Don't leave a lot, or don't leave any to sit, or it'll just start to throw off the whole project. Just gonna hit it, make sure we get it all off. You see it penetrating down in the cracks. All right, that's all she wrote.
I went ahead and put 3 coats of the butcher block oil on there, and now I'm going to go ahead and put 2 coats of the outdoor Minwax urethane. And added some strips right here to go ahead and mount the countertop to, or the top to. And I already started the screws, so getting close. So we got the countertop measured up and sitting evenly on the top, and I'm going to go ahead and screw it in. See the screws there? Already got the 2 in on each sides, and we'll finish it up. The pan's installed. All the connections have been made. It's really straightforward. I didn't have to buy anything extra. And it comes out. Like I said, I have the 12-foot cord, so if I want to run it outside, I can. I just got a little, right over here out the door. Got a little key on it. All right, it fits perfect without hitting the cord in the back. I mean, just barely. It's a nice fit. And there it is, the completed fire table. One thing to remember is I did leave a 1/2-inch gap at the bottom all the way around for ventilation. I did end up adding a wind guard only because it doesn't take much for those flames to move around, and it is a wood top. So added the wind guard. Oh, and I have a cat. It's just a matter of time before he jumps in. As you can see, the quarter turn valve is adjustable. You can get it pretty low, medium, high. I think it's a nice setup for what I needed. Thanks for joining me on this project, my first ever YouTube build and video at Do It Yourself Dog Home Projects. Until next time.